Yo, what's going on, guys? Jack here from On the Spot Sports. I'm along with,
Tyler from On the Spot Sports.
and in today's episode, this is episode 15, I believe, and today we'll be looking at the NFL games that happened today, as well as the games that are happening on Sunday. And today's Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. Thank you for all your support throughout this channel, this podcast. We truly appreciate it, and we truly appreciate you guys. So here's a Thanksgiving Day special. So let's get started.
Yeah, so three Thanksgiving Day games, of course, headlined Week 13 as usual. And first of the three games today was the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. This one, I'm pretty sure most people expected to be like very low scoring. Like when I saw the over/under for this game, I was like 37. I'm like, at first I immediately thought under because the Detroit Lions were down their backup quarterback and Jeff Driscoll. So I'm like, oh man, the Bears offense struggling as usual. I'm like, Detroit's in a third string. This totally calls for like a very low scoring game, but
It was not low scoring at all.
it was not. It wasn't like high profile, like flashy, I guess, but it wasn't like totally like no offense whatsoever. I mean, first two drives of the game, you got the Bears going like right down the field and scoring, and then third play from scrimmage for Detroit. David Blau throws a 75-yard touchdown pass to Kenny Galladay. We're like, whoa, okay,
It's like
right out of the gate.
I was like, wow, we're gonna be having a good game today.
But yeah, in the end, the Chicago Bears came out on top 24-20. And this may seem like it's kind of crazy, but this was Mitchell Trubisky's first time this season throwing for over 300 yards in a game. And as Bears fans, obviously, you don't really want to see this kind of stat when you're already almost three-quarters into the season. It's been a rough year for the Chicago Bears, especially on the offensive side. But I'm glad to see Mitch kind of have a little bit of a breakout game. I mean, even though it's against one of the league's worst defenses, it's still good to see them taking advantage, I guess. But overall, I don't think the win means a whole lot to the Bears because the NFC playoff picture is almost fully in perspective. They're still a couple ways behind the Rams. Not the Rams, the Vikings and the Seahawks, with the Rams being ahead of them, though, because the Rams won a head-to-head meeting. But overall, this game was just, I guess, average. Nothing too special, but as Bears fans, glad to see them get a nice win.
First time over 300 in the season for Mitch. Wow.
I'd have to say that this probably would be his best game of the season. 29 for 38, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 1 interception. The interception was just not a good play. He was looking for Robinson on a typical vertical slant route, and Darius Slay Jr. kind of jumped it and picked it off. Not one of Mitch's better passes, but he found the end zone 3 separate times in this game. Pretty good to see. One was to Jesper Horsted, the new tight end who came off the practice squad, I believe, last week. He made an incredible catch that was just over the defender's shoulders. Really, really good catch. The game winner was to David Montgomery, who also had a pretty solid game. And then
Allen Robinson,
yes, caught the other one. Anthony Miller, though, had a huge game. 9 receptions for 140 yards.
wow, that's a really good game for him.
Next was Robinson, 8 receptions for 86 yards.
Not bad.
And yes, there were only 6 people that caught a pass for the Bears today, and Anthony Miller, Allen Robinson, Javon Wims, Tariq Cohen, Jesper Horsted, and David Montgomery because the Bears had a lot of injuries, though, today. Their starting tight end, Trey Burton, has been on IR. He's gone for the season, and they also have their other tight ends in Adam Shaheen and Ben Broniker not playing. So it hasn't been the best for injury-wise for the Bears. And they were also missing their second receiver, Taylor Gabriel, to a concussion.
Ooh.
So they had to have some guys.
Yeah. The rushing wasn't bad either. They got David Montgomery, 16 carries for 75 yards.
I'm glad to see them kind of rushing the ball a little more. They haven't really been trying to rush the ball a lot, so I'm glad to see Montgomery get a good amount of carries.
Yeah, for sure. And then they got Tariq Cohen with 3 carries and 9 yards, and then Mitch rushed a few times, 4 times for 4 yards.
Yeah, I think also, though, a couple of them were kneel downs. I think kneel downs do count as rushes, so I think subtract the kneel downs, he probably had about two carries for about 10-ish yards, something like that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Their defense was pretty good today.
Yeah, other than the first 2 drives, the Lions were literally scored 3 plays into the first drive, and then Blau was attacking the defense on the second drive. But after that, the defense really locked in, and they didn't allow the touchdown for the rest of the game. I was honestly pretty nervous after the first quarter. I'm like, this doesn't look like the Bears defense we've really seen all season. We're used to the defense keeping us in the game. And yet that was the reason why we were losing, because the offense did their job right away and scored. But the offense, all in all, did their job, and they ended up winning the game. So
Roquan had 2 sacks today. Roquan Smith.
He did.
That's big. That's big for him.
Yeah, one of them came after a late hit out of bounds call.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And then on 4th and, I believe, 22.
Yeah.
Blau threw to, I believe it was Galladay, and then Amukamara was covering him, but Eddie Jackson came in and picked it off, and that was the game winner for the Bears.
Oh yeah, I remember that interception. That was huge for them.
Willed another win, but like I said, I'm not sure if this will be. I'm not sure if this win really means anything, because we got the 2 wildcard teams facing off this weekend. We will definitely get to that game soon, but I really don't think this win means a whole lot. Sure, it is another win in the win column, but if we're talking about what matters most, it's getting to the playoffs. And I don't think, with the way the season's going and how the other teams are, I don't think this win means a whole lot to them playoff-wise. But I'll definitely take a win.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that we don't know if they're going to make the playoffs or not, because the Vikings and Packers are both 8-3 with 4 games left. So they need to lose pretty much all of the rest of their games, and then the Bears need to win every game from now on.
And for the Detroit Lions,
to at least have a chance.
Even though the Detroit Lions are 3-1, they aren't one of those teams that is completely bad. They've led in 9 of their games in the fourth quarter this season. 9 of their 12 games they have led in the fourth quarter.
Dang.
And it just hasn't worked out for them in a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
They've been robbed a couple times, but a lot of the rest of the times they've given it up. And again today, they had I believe a touchdown lead going into the fourth quarter, and they just could not hold on. The Bears figured out some stuff on offense.
That's at least good for the Bears. They were able to find some stuff to expose.
Yeah, all in all, though, most people did expect the Bears to win. They did, not by much, but a good debut, though, for David Blau.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since first NFL game.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It was tied at 17 going in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. 17-17.
Yeah.
All right, but that Bears game, we should move on to the next game, which was
You want to do Bills Cowboys?
Bills and Cowboys. Now, this one, I definitely did not see coming. I did pick the Cowboys to win this game. I felt like the Cowboys kind of got robbed a little bit last week against the Patriots. I thought that tripping call was a little bit questionable against the Patriots. And I really thought that Ezekiel Elliott should have had that first down. I did not think that tripping call should have been enforced. I thought that was a bad call by the refs. And then Amari Cooper nearly caught a fourth down pass that would have given them a new set of downs again, but he just dropped it. So the Cowboys lost last week in Foxborough, 13-9. Very sloppy game due to the rain. And I thought, close game in New England, they'll come out and bounce back against the Bills. But boy, was I wrong. Opening drive touchdown for the Cowboys, and that was really almost all they had for the whole game. The Bills came out firing after that. Josh Allen and the team are proving that they are not a fluke.
I saw a stat about Josh Allen, but wins and since 2000, and I think he's second. He's tied with I forgot who for most wins in a season for the Bills as a starting quarterback.
Oh, Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah,
I believe twice.
Yeah,
Drew Bledsoe had a 9 or 8 or something.
9.
He was on there twice, and then recently, 2 years ago, Tyrod Taylor had 9 as well.
Yeah,
led into the playoffs. So this is a pretty historic year for the Bills.
It is.
It's also their 4th winning season in the last 20 years. So Bills fans, get ready because your team is looking like they are going to pop the champagne bottles and head to the playoffs. Because you want to talk about playoffs. I wouldn't necessarily talk about the division for the Bills because they are almost 2 games behind the Patriots, but they are in a spot where they are almost locked into a wild card spot right now. I mean, they are 3 games ahead of the Steelers right now for 5th. The first team in, and they're 3 games ahead of the next team. The Bills are looking like they're in prime position to lock themselves in.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun run for the Bills, especially in the playoffs. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do.
They play defense. They play tough defense, and honestly, this offense is very underrated. Josh Allen is getting the job done.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback too. He's proving that he's there to stay.
Yeah, I was watching that game earlier, and he looked in some of these third down situations very calm, very composed in the pocket in pressure situations. And like I said, Cowboys were not being conservative. They were bringing about 4 or 5 guys each play. And I was watching Allen, and he was, like I said, so calm, so composed, and just delivered a strike right to the receiver, about 3rd and need in each time, but for first down. And I was like, wow. You don't really see that out of these second-year quarterbacks.
It's a good sign, though, especially if you're doing it as a second year. It's a really good sign.
Yeah, that shows that he has command and is not nervous at all about it.
And his team trusts him, too.
High-pressure situations. 19 of 24, 231 yards for Allen. He did throw for a touchdown, and he did rush for a touchdown as well. 15 yards. He also had 10 carries for 43 yards on the ground, and like I said, 1 touchdown. And he becomes, I believe, one of 2 quarterbacks 3 or 4 quarterbacks within the last 5-10 years that have had 8 rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
In a season.
Talk about confidence.
The most recently was Cam Newton, obviously for the Carolina Panthers.
That's huge for his confidence too.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, I think, he's going to try and be a very good pro. I mean, he's got a very unique skill set. I mean, he's a big dude, 6'5", I believe 232 around, very big, but usually those big quarterbacks, they're mostly pocket passers, but Josh Allen, he knows how to turn on the jets when he can. We saw last year against Minnesota, he had one of the best hurdles maybe ever in football. But for a big guy, he knows how to move, and he knows how to turn not so great pass plays into good run plays of his own. But he, like I said, very unique skill set. He's got a really good arm and really good pocket presence, but also for a big man, he could really turn into a dual threat on the ground as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if we're going to talk about the other end of the side, the Dallas Cowboys,
Dak had a pretty good game.
I really don't know what to say about the Dallas Cowboys. This has obviously been a year that is wanting to be forgotten because I had high hopes for Dallas. I'm pretty sure everyone had high hopes for
Dallas. Yeah, I did too.
With the amount of talent they have on this roster.
Yeah.
It's not coming out the way they want. I mean, 6-6. 6-6. And the crazy thing is they're in the division lead as well.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
NFC East, without a doubt now, is the weakest division in football because now if you have the Eagles win, you got a tie for 6-6, but you have Dallas in the lead because Dallas won the head-to-head meeting earlier this year.
That's an interesting division.
Especially
if you're leading it by going 500 right now. That's scary.
I want to see who ends up on top, and I want to see what their record is because I really don't think the Giants or the Redskins will be a factor at both 2-9. They're too far back right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be between the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Cowboys and the Eagles, yeah. I see that, yeah.
6-6, yeah. Philly plays Miami this weekend. I'm pretty sure most people are assuming that would be a win.
Hopefully.
It's on from there. They do play each other one time down the stretch in Philly.
So we'll see about that and see if the head-to-head changes.
Yeah. Dallas, though, Dak Prescott is actually having a really good year.
Mm-hmm.
He's leading the league in passing yards, but I also feel like the Cowboys are really turning to the passing game a lot because Ezekiel Elliott does not look exactly the same that he did last year. He doesn't look as fast, and the Cowboys have really opened up their passing game under offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, young offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, I should say. Very, very interesting to see him on the coaching sideline. I mean, I remember when he was a quarterback at Boise State, and Boise State was one of the top teams in the nation, and now I'm watching him like, that's Kellen Moore. Wow, crazy how young he got into coaching.
For real.
I'm wondering, though, will he be like a Sean McVay, a young head coach, gets a start as a coordinator job somewhere young, and then obviously works his way up a little bit more, and then as a head coach, because Sean McVay was with the Washington Redskins before he got hired by the Los Angeles Rams, and he was about 31 years old when he got hired. He's, I believe, 33, 34 now.
Oh.
And I believe Kellen Moore is 28 years old. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think this will be Kellen Moore's first opportunity as an offensive coordinator or head coach somewhere. I think he'll get a chance, but like I said, as a Cowboys fan, you got to be upset with the way the season is going. Such high hopes for this kind of roster, and it's not turning out anything like they thought it would be.
Yeah, it's not a good year for the Cowboys. And I'm curious to see how they're going to do in the next stretch, in the next 4 games. See if they'll go 500 and make it 8-8, or if they're going to go like 10-6 or something like that.
Yeah, this NFC East, like I said, is obviously the weakest division in the NFL. And with the hot start the Cowboys got off to 3-0, people were like, wow, they're looking like possible Super Bowl contenders. I know early in the season, but still, there's not a lot of hope now. I mean, the winner of
Mm-mm.
that division will most likely get the 4th seed.
Yeah. And they'll probably be an easy out, too.
Yeah, with Seattle and Minnesota looking the way they are, they should be licking their chops for whoever gets Dallas or Philly, I should say.
Who knows? Maybe they'll upset them. Who knows?
Philly doesn't look the same either.
Mm.
They're banged up too, but even though they're banged up, I still don't think the Eagles are as talented as everyone thinks. I know Andrew Freeman, who's come on a couple times. I know Andrew was really, really sold on the Eagles, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I never thought they were as flashy and as good as everyone seemed.
Yeah. Just nothing's really clicking that much with the Eagles either. They do have a lot of talent on their team, I think, but like nothing's like clicking. So like nothing's working, and they're.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they're not having the season that everyone expects them to.
I feel like them and the Cowboys are like they have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
They both obviously have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. They get a lot of buzz from the talent they have, but they can't put it together all the way on the field.
Yeah, same with Cowboys too. They have a good team. They just can't produce.
And then one of the two will go into the playoffs because obviously each division winner goes. But the other two teams in the division, the Giants are in the middle of a pretty big rebuild right now. That's clear that they're not anywhere near playoff contenders. And the Redskins are just a clear mess. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Ever since Alex Smith injured his leg, I really don't know if the Redskins will ever be a contender for a couple years.
Mm-mm.
But it's down to these two teams for now because they're the best. But like I said, it's interesting seeing, both of these two teams obviously loaded on the talent standpoint, but just not producing, and they're still taking up a playoff spot.
Yeah, and they're going to be an easy out, probably.
Yeah.
Especially with the teams they're going to be playing. Like, if they make it to the playoffs, it's scary.
Yeah. Overall, though, good win for the Buffalo Bills. Even though the Cowboys aren't one of the better teams, it's still a pretty big win considering their schedule this year.
Yeah, 100%. They're pretty much slotted for second place, the Bills, in that division, because the Patriots are gonna take the division.
Yeah, nobody really saw the Bills coming.
I certainly did not.
Huge kudos to the Bills. Josh Allen is playing some great football, and I'm interested to see what they got in the playoffs. I mean, they're pretty much looking like a lock for that 5 seed. So whether it's looking like Houston or Kansas City right now, Baltimore and New England are looking like they're setting sail for a bye. So whoever kind of fades down the stretch between Houston and Kansas City, Buffalo is going to play them in the playoffs most likely. So we will see.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Definitely. And we also had one more game as well, the game that just concluded.
New Orleans Saints played in Atlanta.
Saints and Falcons.
And the Saints took the game 26-18 over the Atlanta Falcons. Overall, I did not expect the scoring to be how it was. I expected the Falcons to be have less points and not put up as much of a fight as they did. But I expected the Saints to have total control of this game, but it was 50-50-ish, kind of.
Yeah, I honestly thought the Falcons wouldn't really hang around as much. Even though the Falcons did beat the Saints by a lot in New Orleans, I still thought the Saints were going to come out swinging this time. But this is – I've heard from numerous commentators throughout the game or whatever that this rivalry is a really big one in the South. And so it wouldn't surprise anyone if it was kind of close. But it wasn't really as close as a score seemed. The Falcons came back with a late charge, 2 onside kicks recovered, and they scored a touchdown and a 2-pointer out of one of them and a field goal.
I was honestly expecting the Falcons to come back somehow.
They did. They made it a 1-score game.
But I expect them to get another touchdown and then go for a 2-point in the last minute of the game. I thought there was somehow going to be a turnover, and then that was going to happen.
The Saints' defensive line, though, was too much. They sacked Matt Ryan a total of 9 times tonight.
The first play of the game, Matt Ryan was sacked.
Cameron Jordan had 4 of the 9 sacks for the Saints. Cameron Jordan's a really good player.
Obviously.
One of the best defensive linemen in the league.
Yeah.
Kind of underlooked, too, considering a lot of other names pop up a lot. But Cameron Jordan, the Saints' defense, I think, is honestly underlooked. Everyone first looks at their offense. I mean, they got Breeze, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, and even the guy that I want to talk about in a second, but I will get to him later. The Saints' offense, yes, it's the Saints' offense is very good, but their defense is just as talented, and I think they get underlooked.
Yeah, 100%.
Cameron Jordan was definitely leading the way. The one problem for the Saints, though, they had a lot of pass interference penalties, just dumb penalties.
Drew Brees also didn't have that good of a game. If you look at his stats, 18 for 30, 184 yards, and a touchdown.
Not the greatest Drew Brees performance. Drew Brees is mostly Mr. Consistency.
Yeah. So I was not expecting him to have that kind of game, but overall they won, so it doesn't really matter.
I think the guy that we got to talk about, though, in this game is Taysom Hill. How about Taysom Hill, third-string quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, and he comes out, and on the first possession of the game, Falcons are forced 3-and-out. He blocked the punt. Taysom Hill. I mean, this guy is whipped out in numerous different formations, not regarding playing his position. He's thrown out in punt returns, kick returns, different weird formations. As a third-string quarterback, this guy is an all-around player, and he tips the punt, and the Saints get it at around the 30-yard line, and then Drew Brees throws it past him for about 10, 15 yards, gets him inside the 10-yard line, and then on 1st and goal, Drew Brees throws a shuffle pass, and who else? It's Taysom Hill for a Saints touchdown.
Yeah, he's an all-around athlete, for real.
He is. And even with Brees out, when Teddy Bridgewater took in, it's still the two QB combo with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill could still do some damage no matter what. And then also, second touchdown of the game, the two only touchdowns of the game for the Saints. First one was by Taysom Hill. The second one, it was no different. Taysom Hill comes in on a QB draw.
Wow.
Up the field on the right, cut a little bit from the 30-yard line, and boom, found an opening hole, and he was gone. 30-yard score. 2 touchdowns for Taysom Hill.
Hey, I bet a lot of third-string quarterbacks can't say that.
Definitely not. Rushing the ball, he had 2 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. And receiving the ball, he had 2 receptions for 12 yards for a touchdown.
That's pretty good.
I know what some fantasy people are thinking. I should draft Taysom Hill or pick up Taysom Hill. The problem is, though, I would definitely not, because you would have to start him as a quarterback. And if you have someone at quarterback, let's say a normal quarterback like Matt Ryan or Drew Brees or even like Russell Wilson or something, you would have to start him at quarterback because that is his technical position.
Yeah.
It's such a lose-lose because he's such a good athlete. You're like, oh, man, it's perfect, but you'd have to start him.
And you lose the actual quarterback to score.
And that's the other thing, too. You'll lose the ability to play someone like Breeze or Ryan or Russell Wilson. But
who's like a starting quarterback compared to Taysom Hill?
Oh, definitely. But I definitely think another thing is, too, you don't expect him to have that kind of game. Like, he doesn't normally come in and just do that kind of damage during a game, like 2 touchdowns. Like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll see him every once in a while, like a catch, but normally he doesn't go off for like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good game from Taysom Hill though, and from the Saints.
I think he's got to love his role. Despite being a third-string quarterback, I don't even think he cares at this point. With the kind of formations that the Saints put him in, like I said, the kind of all-around athlete that he is, I think he's got to absolutely love what he's doing.
Yeah, I'd love it too. That'd be so much fun to play in. You just get thrown in anywhere, and you're able to put up points.
I will say, though, the one disappointment that I do have about this game was Michael Thomas did not generate me a single fantasy point for this game.
That's all you care about?
Well, at this point, definitely. I'm in the fight for the playoffs right now in my league.
Every point counts.
And literally every yard counts as well. In my league, scoring is very different. You get 3 points for every 50 receiving yards for receiver and 50 rushing yards for running back. Michael Thomas had 48 receiving yards. If he got 2 more receiving yards, I would have gotten 3 points from him.
Ooh.
But in the last catch, he was down for first down, about 10 yards. And if I got an extra 2 yards out of him, that's 3 points.
But you got 0.
I did get 0. And I have Julio Jones as well. He didn't play. I'm also very disappointed about that. But we'll see. I'm in the fight for the playoffs right now, so we'll see.
Yeah. You want to move into the other games now?
Let's do it.
Do you want to start with bold predictions first?
Bold predictions.
I'll let you go first on this one.
Ooh.
This could be an interesting pick.
For Sunday or Monday? We got some interesting games this week.
We do.
Very interesting games. This is tough. Not gonna lie.
I got mine.
If you got yours to go for it, man.
All right, so I say the Bengals. They're gonna come away with their first win of the season against the New York Jets on Sunday.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
New York Jets.
It's a bold prediction for a reason.
The New York Jets that have won 3 games in a row and have scored 34 points exactly in 3 straight wins.
Yeah. It's a bold prediction for a reason. It may be a little extra bold, but I'm sticking with it.
The Bengals are going to win a game.
Mm-hmm.
You heard them.
They're only winning the season.
I'm going to go for mine here. This is going to be very random. Very random, but I'm hoping for this. I can't think of anything else, but you know what? I'm going to go for it. Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals will throw for 370 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what? The Rams coming off that very poor defensive performance against, well, I wouldn't even say poor defensive performance, coming off the game against arguably the hottest player and the hottest team in the league, the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I think the Cardinals are going to catch him at the wrong time here. Rams go on the road to Arizona, and Kyler Murray eats up a Los Angeles Rams secondary, even though they have Jalen Ramsey, I still don't think the Rams are that dangerous. And Aaron Donald, yes, Aaron Donald is not on the secondary. That Rams, Kyler Murray is going to eat the Rams up. 4 touchdowns, at least 370 passing yards. I would like to make that clear. Minimum 370 yards.
I got you. So that's an interesting pick. But
hey, I'm going for it.
Same. I'm on a 1-game win streak too.
Yeah, we both have 1.
We're both 1-1 with these bold predictions. The last episode, I won my bold prediction, which I said that the Falcon. What was that? It was the Falcons, right?
Falcons, yes.
Yeah, that the Falcons were gonna hold the Panthers to less than 10 points, and they did. What?
And win the game.
And win the game. And they did. So I'm 1-1. Or we're both 1-1 now.
Yeah, and the one that I got was week 5, week 6, something like that.
Yeah, I believe so.
I predicted the New York Giants would upset the Dallas Cowboys. And I remember we had Colby on that episode, and Colby was like, "Are you out of your mind?" And I'm like, "Hey, man, bold predictions." And guess what? Sam Darnold led the upset.
No bold predictions. Too bold. No bold predictions. Too bold.
Hey, you're not saying too bold, just bold, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Bold it is. All right. Well, we'll stop being bold for now and move back to the game this week. I think we can't skip this game for the first preview. Arguably, the 2 hottest teams in the league right now are facing off this Sunday, the 49ers and the Ravens. I mean, are you kidding me right now?
That should be a fun game to watch.
Are you kidding me right now?
Two of the best teams. 49ers are 10-1, Ravens 9-2, facing off against each other.
I absolutely cannot wait for this matchup.
It's gonna be a ton of fun to watch. Can't wait.
I will 100% watch that game. And you know what? I honestly said I'm so glad the Bears are playing on Thursday, so I don't have to watch their offense kind of suck. I'm like, good. We get this game on national television. I mean, one of the league's best defenses against probably the MVP of the league and Lamar Jackson. I mean, how many different coaching strategies are you thinking of for this game? I mean, if you're the 49ers, how do you prepare defensively for a guy that literally almost nobody has been able to stop this year? And if you're the Ravens, how do you prepare offensively to attack that defensive line? And obviously it goes on the other side too. Ravens with a very talented defense. How do the 49ers attack the Ravens defense? Because the 49ers have a really, really good offensive line and a tight end for blocking and the run game and Jimmy G setting up. I'm looking for all that type of stuff in this matchup.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. Going to be Jimmy Garoppolo against Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's proven that he is an MVP candidate for this year.
I think he's the number one MVP candidate. I mean, I don't even know who else you would look at. I know some people say Russell Wilson, but I'm honestly not 100% sold on Russell Wilson being MVP. I think Lamar Jackson is just doing stuff at the quarterback position that stuff has never been done before, and it needs to be recognized.
Yeah, I can see your point there.
Right now, if I were to have an MVP trophy, hands
Lamar
down,
Jackson.
it would be Lamar Jackson. Hands down.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. He is number one. If you look at all the quarterbacks he's beaten and like how good they are, it's crazy. And like the defenses too.
Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson, and Jared Goff. the two QBs who just faced off in the Super Bowl, he took them both down.
He has a bright future ahead of him.
And he is so versatile too. I mean, he is such a, like I said, you want to talk about the definition of a dual threat quarterback? I think he perfectly defines dual threat. He's got arm strength. He's got stuff all over to do with his arm, with sidearm throws and anything.
Yeah.
And then obviously with his legs. I mean, everyone can see clear as day how fast he is. And this is going to be a great matchup. This is going to be an absolutely great matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
49ers, though, their defensive line is scary. Nick Bosa needs to be recognized. Nick Bosa should definitely be Defensive Player of the Year.
Without a doubt.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. Maybe even Defensive Player of the Year.
Without a doubt. You'd be crazy not to pick him.
I just want to know, though, who will win this game? 49ers or Ravens? I want to hear right now. Who will win this game?
Ravens.
Ravens?
Yeah.
How much we thinking?
By a touchdown.
I will go Ravens as well. And you know what? That seems pretty plausible. I'll go anywhere between 7 and 10 points.
Respectable.
Cannot wait for this game, though. Cannot wait for this game.
Yeah. Well, you want to move on to another big one, too?
For sure. What you got next?
I got the Minnesota Vikings 8-3 at the Seattle Seahawks 9-2. For Monday Night Football, too.
Yeah, this is a matchup between currently the two wildcard teams in the NFC right now.
It's gonna be a good game to see how this wild card spot's gonna end up being.
And honestly, wild card spot, it's a good thing you bring that up because I just thought of it now. If it pans out the way we both think, the Ravens take down the 49ers, and I don't know what you're thinking for this game of who's going to win between Seattle and Minnesota. If Seattle pulls off the win and San Francisco loses, you know who's leading that division after Week 13? The Seahawks are. Because remember, I believe it was Week 10 Monday Night Football? Seahawks beat the 49ers in overtime?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That one head-to-head meeting would put Seattle over the top right now. So if the 49ers were to go down in Baltimore and the Seahawks would win on Monday Night Football tonight, or Monday night against Minnesota, Seattle would be the division leader. 49ers would drop to 5th.
Ooh.
And the Saints would be the new number 1 seed because Seattle and the Saints would have the same record, but the Saints beat them earlier in head-to-head. It's getting
big matchup.
The NFC is absolutely stacked this year.
It's a big matchup.
I want to see, though, Minnesota has a very feisty defense. How will they contain Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson, especially, is extending the play. How could the Vikings put enough pressure on him so he can't extend the play?
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
I believe last year they faced off in Monday Night Football, and I believe the final score was 21-7. Seattle won. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know they faced off in Monday Night Football last year with Seattle being home, and the Seahawks did win. It was a very low-scoring game.
Yeah, it's probably another low-scoring game.
I would think so.
I got the Seahawks winning, though. Seahawks are going to win this game.
I think it will come down to a last-second field goal or score but I think the Seahawks will prevail. I think it'll be a very close game. Minnesota is a very good team.
Yeah.
Minnesota is a very good all-around team, but I think Seattle is one of those teams that I think home edge does have a good meaning to it. I think that'll push them over the top too, but I think whoever has the ball last will probably win the game because it'll be very close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be another good game to watch.
Definitely. Monday Night Football. On to the lights. I think, though, Vikings and Seahawks, definitely for sure we got that one. I think the next game that I think is on both of our minds, Sunday Night Football, the other primetime game, Patriots and Texans from Houston. So I think, we got to go to another game, Sunday Night Football. The other primetime game that I think is sticking up to a lot of people, the Patriots and the Texans from Houston.
That's gonna be another good game. Even though I think the Patriots are clearly gonna win this game. But I think it'll be somewhat of a close game though. Maybe like 10 to 13 points.
I agree with you. I do think the Patriots will win this game, but I want to see how young Deshaun Watson fares against this Patriots defense that I think everyone knows the Patriots defense is the best in the league. I want to see how the Patriots scheme up against Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson is another dual threat quarterback, very similar to Lamar Jackson. I honestly don't think he's as dangerous as Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson absolutely torched them up when they played against each other. But Deshaun Watson can be very dangerous. And I want to see how the Patriots can prepare for him because don't forget, the Patriots were not ready for Lamar Jackson when they played against the Ravens. The Patriots defense gave up a season high in points by a lot. And they're on the road again, another tough environment.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson's really good too. He's really proven that he's a pretty good quarterback, especially from last year to this year.
Deshaun Watson is 100% moved into the top 10 QB conversation.
For sure. Last year I was unsure about him, but this year he's definitely proven that he's a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, he came back strong last year from that ACL injury in his rookie season and led them to a division title. But you know what? You never know. This could honestly be a playoff matchup, like a divisional round playoff matchup. I could totally see these two teams facing off.
This would be a good playoff matchup too.
Definitely, it would probably be reversed. We probably see New England at home.
Yeah,
but like I said, I'm really anxious to see. I definitely think since the Patriots are on the road for this game and they're facing a quarterback very similar to who they lost to this year, I'm really anxious to see this kind of game.
Deshaun Watson is just like Lamar Jackson.
And yeah, I've seen a couple of his press conferences after the games this year. He literally breaks down what the other defense is doing, and it's insane. Like, I've never seen someone completely fully explain how a defense formation is, and it's just crazy because, like, he's not stupid. He would know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And this, like, the best defense in the league. So I just want to see, like, is he able to read what the Patriots defense is going to scheme up against him?
Yeah. His breakdowns are crazy. He breaks down literally every little thing.
He's a very smart player.
He is.
Very humble player too.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the hell out of him. He's a really, really humble guy.
He's one of the quarterbacks I'd love to meet.
Definitely.
He's just a humble guy. Like, he seems like a pretty chill dude too.
Yeah, definitely 100% ready to see that game, though. Patriots, Texans, Sunday Night Football from Houston. The Texans are 0-5 versus the Patriots under head coach Bill O'Brien, including the playoffs. We'll see. Can the Texans make it 1-5, or will the Patriots continue that streak of domination, if you will, against this Texans team.
For sure. I got one more game that I want to talk about, and it's you could probably guess what team I'm gonna pick.
Oh, I 100% know which game this is.
Cleveland Browns at Pittsburgh Steelers.
Got it.
Cleveland Browns are 5-6 right now, so they're on the horizon to be 500, and then the Steelers are 6-5. So if the Browns win, they'll be 500, and if the Steelers lose, they'll be 500. So it's gonna be a close game. I say this game's gonna be one. I think the Browns are gonna win this game by 3.
This game is also very important, though, because currently the Pittsburgh Steelers hold the second wildcard spot in the AFC at 6-5. The Browns are not out of the picture. There are 3 or 4 teams right there at 6-5. You got the Steelers, the Titans, the Colts, and the Raiders, all at 6-5, fighting for that 6th seed. And then the Browns are also right there in the mix at 5-6. And don't forget, the Browns did win that matchup 2 weeks ago after the infamous helmet swing by Myles Garrett. So I'm also very anxious to see that rematch, how these two teams will come at each other after that incident happened. But also this matchup is very serious for the division race and for the wild card race as well.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield in the defense and with the offense and then the defense, they all need to step up these last 4 games, especially if they want to make a push for the wild card spot.
Yeah, right now if the Browns can win this game, they hold a serious advantage. 2 head-to-head wins over their division rival, the Steelers, and they will definitely just push closer to a playoff spot.
I'm not counting the Browns out. They're gonna be fighting till the end, I believe.
Yeah, but like I said, that they're just one. They're going to be one of those 4 or 5 teams that are right in the mix. Because, like I said, the Steelers, the Colts, the Titans, and the Raiders are all 6-5, tied for that 6th spot. But it currently is held by the Steelers right now, due to, I believe, conference record would be the first.
Yeah.
Go-to.
After a shaky start, I think the Browns are finally coming together and fine. It may be a little too late, but I'm not counting them out yet.
It's never too late. I mean, they're right there. They're only a game out. Like I said, if they win this game, they're just in the race as anyone else. But I honestly do agree with you.
They have to win, though. They have to win.
I didn't think we would see the Browns kind of pull their shit together a little bit, but I honestly think that right now they got some rhythm going. Like I said, they got a must-needed win against Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago. They got a must-needed win against Buffalo, who Buffalo is a wild card team. Right now, they're a little bit ahead of them, but they got a huge win against them. And they beat up on a pretty weak Dolphins team who was showing a little bit of signs of life. This could be a break they need. And with the Steelers benching quarterback Mason Rudolph this week for quarterback Devlin Hodges, I'm also very anxious to see how the Browns prepare for Devlin Hodges compared to Mason Rudolph.
To me, it's going to be a fun one. I'm going to be watching this game for sure.
Yeah, I'm also very, very anxious to see how this goes. Not a whole lot of film to watch on Devlin Hodges except for I believe, one start he made against the Chargers. Wasn't too flashy, but he still got the job done. But if I have to pick someone in this game, it's going to be tough. I think these two teams will come out hating each other right away after what happened, obviously, with the helmet bling thing.
Yeah.
But if I have to pick a team for this game, Pittsburgh, their home field advantage is also very, very real. I believe in that. But I'm going to have to go with the Browns on this one because I just feel like Baker Mayfield is starting to get his edge back just a little bit. I wouldn't even really call it edge. I think Baker Mayfield is starting to play the kind of football that he wants to play and the kind of football that people expect him to play. And I just think there's a little bit more of a quarterback edge there for Cleveland over Pittsburgh's Devlin Hodges. I think the Browns will get it done in Pittsburgh this weekend and inch their way closer to a possible playoff spot.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know about you. Do you think the Browns are going to win this? You said that, right?
Yeah, 100%. But I said they're going to beat the Steelers by at least 3 points. Or it's going to be a close one, I think. But Browns are going to sneak it out by 3.
Yeah. There's also one more game I wanted to do too, because due to the fact that I said there was 4 teams tied for that 6th spot, we're going to focus on 2 of the other teams that are tied right now at 6 and 5 for that 6th playoff spot. The Titans and the Colts, both sitting at 6 and 5. On the outside looking in, but not really, basically. They are technically on the outside looking in, but technically not. Like I said, tied at 6 and 5, but due to conference record, they are not in right now over Pittsburgh. Again, this is absolutely huge. This AFC South race is not over either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have the Texans facing a loaded Patriots team right now. The winner of this game could easily be tied possibly with Houston again and possibly in prime position for a wild card spot.
So it's a big game for both these teams.
Yeah, the Colts coming off that Thursday Night Football loss against the Texans last week, 2017, very, very close loss. Played them tough all the way. But if I'm looking at a certain team right now who I think has momentum, it's 100% the Tennessee Titans. Since turning to Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, the Titans are 4-1 in games that Tannehill starts, compared to 2-4 with Marcus Mariota.
Oh, that's a very interesting stat.
Ryan Tannehill has been a very, very key player to this Titans sort of late success. Derrick Henry as a running back too. Derrick Henry is a very dangerous player too. I have in fantasy football. He is extremely hard to bring down.
Yeah.
This Titans team, though, they are a lot more dangerous with Tannehill under center than Mariota.
For sure. Especially since you're 4-1 with them.
4-1. That's Ryan Tannehill.
That's some good numbers. They should have started him all along.
Yeah, I think the Marcus Mariota era in Tennessee is over.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be a Titan next year. I don't think Ryan Tannehill will be either. I think it was just a trade. But I think the Titans will be a team next year that will be looking for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Whether in free agency or in the draft, I have no clue. But the Titans will definitely be a team that will be in the market for a quarterback next year, because I do not see them bringing Marcus Mariota especially back, and I don't really see them bringing Ryan Tannehill back either.
I think they're gonna. I think the Titans are gonna restart on their quarterbacks next year.
Definitely, but this game is very intriguing, though. Like I said, 6 and 5 AFC South matchup. This has wild card and division implications. This game is really tough, though. The Colts have a very good offensive line.
Yeah,
very
they
good
do.
offensive line. Pretty deadly run game too. Jacoby Brissett is good. He is not exactly flashy, but he's decent enough to get the job done.
All you gotta do is get the job done.
But if I have to pick a winner of this game, I am honestly going to go with the Tennessee Titans. I think they are on some serious momentum right now with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. And I think Tannehill will find some more magic, just like a Miami Miracle last year. And I think the Titans will come into Indianapolis and get a close win. This will be a close game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Titans too. I think Tennessee's gonna pull it out, and I say it's gonna be won by 9 points. The Titans are gonna win by 9.
I'm thinking the Titans will win by 6. 6-point win.
I see that. I respect that. It's gonna be a fun. It's another fun game to watch, especially with how the wild cards coming up.
Like I said, most of these games have wild card implications.
So it's gonna be really fun to watch.
I mean, already tonight with their win against the Falcons, the New Orleans Saints have officially become the first team to clinch a playoff spot by winning the NFC South division for the third year in a row.
That's good. That's good for the Saints.
Yeah, congrats to the Saints.
Congrats to the Saints.
Another year
and Drew Brees.
Andrew Brees, another year in the playoffs for the for Who Dat Nation.
For the oldie.
Who Dat? Overall, though, it's coming down to the nitty-gritty, and these games start meaning more and more for playoff and division implications. So I'm so looking forward to what these games bring on Sunday and Monday.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. This gonna be so much. This is a NFL fan's dream.
Honestly,
like you got all these teams coming up on the playoffs, like the wild card, and they're all like really close to getting into the playoffs.
Honestly, I can't wait for what's about to shake down.
I believe that's all we have for today's episode.
Yeah, looks like that's gonna be about it. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Remember, you could subscribe to our YouTube. It's On the Spot Sports, and please follow our Instagram too. We appreciate every single follow. On the Spot Sports _ separating each word, so on _ the _ spot _ sports. Go give us a follow. We appreciate your guys' feedback so much. Feel free to comment whatever you guys want to hear. If you want us to give new content or even bold predictions for NFL, anything that you guys have on your mind, please tell us. We would absolutely love to hear what you guys have to think.
Yeah, for sure. Just subscribe, follow our Instagram. We want to wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving.
That too. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. And we got some pretty special episodes coming up soon. Some interviews too as well. So
I will also like to add in that I forgot that I did mention this earlier, but I don't know if we'll get to another episode next week. If we do, that's great, but I do also want to mention I will be in attendance for the Chicago Bears game next Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm extremely thankful for that opportunity, and I can't wait to go to my first Bears game. Can't wait to tell you guys about it next time we do an episode. It's gonna be so much fun.
If you're there, hit us up, and I'm sure Tyler would love to meet you guys.
Definitely.
We'd love to meet our fans. So thank you guys for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, and stay tuned for the episodes coming up. Thank you, and goodbye.